Friday morning, can't control it. Fired up and counting every minute. Hands are shaking, eyes are burning. The time has come, yeah, this is not a warning. The week was just so long, we had to let it go. Our problems disappeared, we're not tied up anymore. The weekend is here. Sunday calls, we are sick and tired. Up and down, can you feel it?
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Johansson show. It's Kurt. Today, I've got a special guest. He is the AAW Heritage Champion, Hakim Zane. Hakim, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Really excited. You've been killing it everywhere you go, and today we get to talk about AAW and their live shows that are happening on FiteTV. So yeah, really thrilled to have you. You're killing it at the moment, man. Congrats.
Thank you. It's about time some of that hard work pays off and that recognition starts coming my way, and it honestly feels good. The wave that I'm riding, I want to ride it as long as I can. So we're still going to continue to put in that hard work to reach as high as we can. But it feels great to finally get some recognition.
Yeah, definitely, and it kind of puts a good light on the year of wrestling for you. Like, wrestling's been flipped upside down during this pandemic, and it's good to see AAW now recording. You're doing these live shows on FiteTV. What was your thoughts when management told you, hey, this is what we're going to be doing? Champ, you need to come back. We're going to be getting you defending your title on AAW Alive 1.
I just felt good being back in the ring, especially at AAW. I couldn't wait. I was going stir crazy there for a little bit, obviously doing my thing down in Nashville here and there, but there were no indies. So, because indies thrive off having people, so it was really cool that we could still do our thing and showcase it on Fight, which was really nice. And I love being at AAW because it gives me a chance to do something different, really dig down deep and take out all that anger and that frustration and bring it to the top. And it translates real well because it's real, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about a lot of things. And I love the fact that in professional wrestling, I can do that. I can have those frustrations, but I can showcase them during a promo or in the ring with intensity or savagery. So it's a good outlet for me.
Yeah, definitely. And we've definitely seen that. You made your AAW debut 2018. And then over those years, I know 2020 again being a bit of a write-off, but for yourself, you're leading the way. We'll get into it shortly, but huge title match has been announced for this upcoming AAW Alive. Like, what's it been like wrestling with Chicago? So before the pandemic, when you're doing AAW, all these neighboring places in Illinois, Chicago, everybody knows that fan base is rabid. The fan base is amazing. What's that been like for yourself?
When I first got to AAW, well, that was always the goal, was to get there. It was always, if you look, who's who in professional wrestling has stayed there for a little bit. So obviously I wanted to go and put my feet in that ring. And I did, but I remember it was kind of just, I was having good matches, but nobody really cared. And then I remember Danny Daniels walked up to me, he goes, you're putting on great matches, you look great, but no one cares. What do we got to do to make them care? I said, give me the microphone. And then nothing really happened. And then I finally started doing those cryptic videos, and that was hilarious because of the fans' reaction. And that's something that I just fed off of. I can't stand the way social media kind of translates and meshes with professional wrestling. It has its positives and then it has its negatives. Like, I saw these fans like, oh, it must be this person, it must be that person. And then when I did the reveal, they were like, oh, this guy sucks. Oh, It was still me cutting the promo, you moron, underneath. It was still me underneath the mask. Like, all of a sudden, oh, I took the mask off. The promos were great, and all of a sudden I took the mask off and they weren't great. And that's just that elitist mentality. And I feed off that. That's how you want to be cool. I'm not in it for the likes. I'm not in it for the follows. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you exactly what you are and how you're a sniveling elitist fan. You know what I mean? I'm going to call out those fans. And Chicago was filled with them. So when Carm and I went in there, we beat up Myron Reed and we took that microphone. That was years of frustration getting off my chest right there. And I couldn't wait to eat them alive. I couldn't wait to shove all that hypocrisy in their face and tell them what I really thought of them. Because nowadays you can't tell people what you really think of them because someone's going to be offended. But in AAW, I did and I could and I can and I do and I will. And it feels so good. And that's why I said it's not for the follows, it's not for the likes, and that's why I'm going through beating up their favorite professional wrestlers. And it honestly feels good to throw that back in their face. I love it. I love every single second of it.
That's brilliant, and it's great to hear that where everyone's like, "Oh, this person, it's great, it's going to be great," and then
Yeah,
it's like, "Oh no, we don't like this guy," and you're like, "Wait, no, cut the bullshit. That's
Yep.
still me." And
exactly.
it's good to you've made them eat the word. Since then, you'd taken the AAW Heritage Championship from Paco, who I think it's quite poetic. Like Paco was in your debut match in that 4-way for AAW, and then he won that Heritage Rumble a couple, I think, on your third appearance. And here you are a year down the line, you're using all this bent up aggression, turning it into something positive, and you become the Heritage Champion. So how did that feel when management have been telling you, hey, like you're putting on great matches, like, but nobody's caring, and now you're the champion? How does that feel for you when you beat Paco and got that title?
It feels fantastic. I still don't think people care. They just don't like me. They don't like me, and that's okay. And like I said, I feed off of that. I don't. What I used to search for the likes and the admiration of the crowd. I know what my peers think, and I know what they think when they're standing across the ring from me or they have to face me. That's what matters. And I know I have my peers' respect because they know I can go in the ring, and even more, there's not anyone out there touching me on the microphone when it comes to that. Paco, he was the crowd favorite. He was the hometown boy, and they couldn't wait. He defeated Jake something for it, and it was a huge match. I remember that pop when Paco won, ended up winning. And I just remember thinking to myself, man, I can't wait to take that belt from him because that's what I'm going to do. And I can't wait to hear the piss and moans of the crowd and the fans. And that's what happened. Why Hakim? Blah, blah, blah. You know what? Cool, man. Keep giving it to me. And they say, oh, well, you got Carm in your corner. Well, yeah, I do. And because Carm should be showcased as well. And how we get the job done, I don't really care. We're going to get the job done. You can complain about it all you want as far as the AAW fans. They can whine and cry and, oh, well, you guys are taking shortcuts. Well, life isn't fair, and I learned that out the hard way. So now I'm going to take the shortcuts that life took out on me, and I'm going to get mine. And that's exactly what the hustle and muscle is doing. It feels fantastic, you know, being able to shove that back in their face, especially taking it from Paco, who's a great competitor, super tough, absolutely a talented individual, but he was their guy. And being able to beat their guy and take that belt from him, it's for me, it's poetic.
Yeah, definitely. And what about that second match then? Because that was your first title defense as well. Did
Yes.
you feel like people were just expecting it's a flash in the pan, you was going to drop it straight away? Or what was that like when you've proved them wrong and you've not only beat Paco to take the title, but you've beaten him again to defend it?
I think they were hoping I'd lose it right away because obviously they wanted their guy to win. It was one of my favorite matches. The crowd was electric from beginning to end, and we brought it. I had bruises from the kendo sticks, from the chairs, from everything. But in the end, who wanted it more? I wanted it more. I've been wanting it more, and now I'm finally starting to. There's that light at the end of the tunnel. It finally started to shine through a little bit, and now I'm running. I'm running. I ran out that tunnel, and now I ran up the tunnel. I went straight up to the sky, and that's where I want to be, is at the top, because I feel like I am very talented. I feel like I'm way more talented than a lot of the individuals out there that get the praise and the love of, just because it's like a popularity contest. You know what I mean? So, oh well, we don't think you're not that popular. Like I said, my peers know. Every wrestler that steps across the ring from me, when it comes to being at AAW, they know, and they fear Carm and myself. They keep quiet. They don't call us out. We call people out. They keep quiet because they don't want that smoke, because they know we are going to do whatever it takes to find a way, and they know we want it more. They've been coasting off their popularity. They've been feeling good. They've been doing all these things to where they were safe. But then we came into AAW, we've shaken it up, and now nobody's safe. And we've proven that. We proved that last week when we took out Mance. Nobody's safe. That's your top guy, and I beat him in the center of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and then we beat him up backstage. We're here to prove a point. And I think people are. They don't want. It's like that truth that people don't want to look at. They don't want to look at it. They want to turn away from it. There's issues. There's problems. They don't want to look at it. So what do? They turn away. Or, you know what I mean? Or they act like it doesn't exist. So they don't want to acknowledge our existence. But now we're kind of shoving ourselves in their face where you have no choice but to accept it and acknowledge it.
Yeah, definitely the case because, again, AAW Alive, it's been featuring you heavily. You first beat Travis Titan to defend the Heritage Championship. Just like you said, you beat Jake Something and Mance Warner and you're attacking him backstage. And now the news has come out, the fact that you will be, in fact, facing Mance Warner for the AAW Heavyweight Championship on the upcoming AAW Alive show. How does that feel, the fact that on November 12th, you're against the champ, you can be a double champion. Your belt's not on the line. You've got nothing to lose but everything to gain. How does that feel?
It was fantastic because that was the end goal all along. I feel like AAW is one of the top promotions, one of the top indie promotions, not only in the Midwest, but in professional wrestling. Like I said, a who's who of people have been there. And that was the place I needed to be. And I got there and no one really cared. And then I finally, we came up with a way to get people's attention. We got their attention. They didn't care because they didn't get what they wanted. But then it turned out to be where it doesn't matter if that's what you wanted, that's what you got. And that's what you're going to keep on getting. And myself and Karam have been just driving, bulldozing through people. And that's the end goal. When you're at the top, when you're at one of the best stages of them all, one of the biggest ones, your voice is heard. Like I said, whether people want to admit it or not, whether they want to turn away from the truth or not. Then when you're holding a title like the Heritage title, people definitely have to pay attention to you. Well, then when you're holding that belt and you decide to go after the main title, the heavyweight title, people are definitely going to have to hear what you say. Mance is tough. And this is nothing personal to Mance. This is a personal thing for me against how professional wrestling is nowadays. It's a personal vendetta against me about how these fans are nowadays. And it's personal and bitter for me because getting the recognition that I feel like I deserve, as well as Karam, who is obviously the future of professional wrestling. But going back to Mance, he's tough. You know, he's a tremendous professional wrestler. He's tough as nails. He can do the deathmatch stuff, but it doesn't matter how tough you are. All I need is 3 seconds to pin your shoulders to the mat, and I think I proved that last week when I hit that knee. And he's Mance. I don't think he took us that serious. I think he thought he had Jake watching his back, so he was going to be fine. I don't think he's ever faced anybody like me because I'm not going out there. I don't need chairs, all that stuff. To me, okay, cool, whatever. That's your thing. That's not my thing. I'm out there to be the best professional wrestler, and all I need to do is get your shoulders to the mat for a 1, 2, 3. That's it, and I've proven I can do that, and that's the plan. And when I get that belt, we're gonna run AAW, and then no one is gonna be able to turn away or deny the fact that we are at the top of the food chain, and we should be at the top of the food chain.
Most definitely. Like, if you're holding the Heritage Championship and the heavyweight, not only are you the double champion, but you're close to surpassing so many people that have held that Heritage Championship as well. I think as of we're recording today, which is for everybody listening, Wednesday, the 4th of November, you're 312 days into your Heritage Championship reign. You're only just under 130 shy of becoming the longest reigning. Is that something you want as well, where you're not only going to be a double champion, but do you want to be that longest reigning Heritage Champion?
During this time, because of the pandemic, I don't count any of that as far as those few months where I didn't wrestle. The main goal is to hold the titles, but not to be, a champion. It's to have my voice heard, have Karam's voice heard. And the way you do that is by taking the spotlight away from people that get it just because, like I said, not taking away from Mance because, like I said, he's tough. But, okay, cool. So you come up to a theme song that everybody can sing along to. So they oh, yay, we like you. We like you, so therefore you're good. Yeah, you're good, but you're not better than me. Just because someone dislikes me, just because someone dislikes what I have to say, just because someone dislikes my style or the way we get our victories, doesn't mean I'm not good. Doesn't mean I'm not better than your favorite professional wrestler. That's the reality of the situation. And that's what, unfortunately for myself and guys of that old cloth or that old cut, that's what professional wrestling has turned into. It's always been a certain popularity contest, but if you go back and look at who was good, who do we still talk about 30 years later? We still talking about the greats. We're still talking about the Rocks, the Austins, the Dustys, the Flairs, the Hogans, the Savages. We still talk about all those guys that fans nowadays, if they were to go back and watch their matches, would be like, these guys aren't good. They're not doing this. It's because you guys are morons and you don't know what you're talking about. It's that simple. They're good because they drew. Not only were they great professional wrestlers, not only could they get the job done in the ring, they could get the job done outside the ring. And they drew people that weren't wrestling fans. They drew those people in. So I'm not trying to cater to these nimrods that just want to have the popularity contest, and that all of a sudden means that that guy's a great professional wrestler. There isn't a more complete package. I mean, there might be a couple guys out there, but I'm a complete package when it comes to being a professional wrestler. And so is Karam now. That's what he's turning into. He's shaping up into that. I can get the job done on the microphone. I can perform in the ring. I look like a professional wrestler. We walk, we talk, we act like professional wrestlers. That's missing in this day and age because the entire professional wrestling world and its fan base is soft. That's SOFF, no T's, because the T is too hard for this generation. And it's just, and to me, it's disgusting. And so I said something in a promo. We were what was once glorious about professional wrestling, and we are, and we're going to bring that back. And if you take a look at professional wrestling and all these guys that get all the love, there's nobody like Karam and I. Nobody. We don't wrestle like everybody else does. You could literally take a lot of these guys, change their pants, and then they'd still be having the same match, as the other guy. It's almost like no one stands out. Well, it may stand out to these fans nowadays, that's fine. But no one stands out. And Karam and I are here to, cool, that's what you guys want? Well, we're going to beat up all these people, and we're going to take all these belts, and we're going to be sitting at the top, and you'll have no choice but to recognize us. You ain't got to like us, but you will respect us.
So it's clear to see that the respect to control AAW as well, having all the championships. And you keep mentioning Karam as well. So once you get that heavyweight championship from Mance, what's next for yourselves? Do you want to go for the tag titles and hold all the gold? Would you and Karam want to go after Ace Austin and Madman Fulton?
Hands down. Look at that combination right there. Ace Austin, Madman Fulton. It's almost like looking in a mirror in a sense. But hey, we were at AAW and we did it first. So that's cool. They want to come in and they want to raise some hell, and Fulton wants to beat up, security afterwards. That's fantastic. They got to get past the besties first, but trust us, we've had our eyes on the tag titles since we stepped foot in that ring. We've had our eyes on every single championship belt. It's only a matter of time before Karam has gold around his waist, whether it's with me or without me, you know what I'm saying? But he's going to have gold around his waist, and I would rather it be with the tag titles, but obviously the man will have singles gold in the very near future here because he's a beast. But I would love those tag titles to be wrapped around our waist. It doesn't matter who holds them. It could be Ace, and Fulton. It could be the besties. We'll come and get them. Don't worry about that. When the time is right, you'll know.
So everybody, make sure you do go across to FiteTV. You can buy it for $12.99. That's in dollars. And it's 12th of November. It's signed. It's Mance Warner. It's going to be Hakim Zane for the AAW Heavyweight Championship. So, Hakim, as a farewell, if somebody's listening to this and they've not watched AAW once or they've not checked into the product recently, why should they check this out and what should they expect?
Well, you're missing out if that's the case. You have some of the best wrestlers in professional wrestling today. You have guys like myself that are all around the complete package. You have so many great high flyers. You have the ladies that come in, they kill it. You have a who's who of indie wrestling, and then you have some hidden gems, people like was it Braden Lee, Travis Titan. You got Ace Perry. Ace has been around for a while, but he should be getting way more recognition than he does. A lot of these people, they're coming in, they're not getting the hype and the recognition on their names as they should be, and they're all talented individuals. You want to see a great show, you turn into AAW Alive, because you have the talent there. You have the who's who, and you have people that you probably never even heard of, and they're fantastic. Just because you never heard of them doesn't mean, oh, they suck. Get that mentality out of your head. Open up your mind to discover new talent, because some of these people, they're not going to be there for long. They're going to end up getting snatched up and signed. So make sure you take advantage of it now and watch them right before, they blow up.
Yeah, definitely. So again, go across to Fight TV. It's $12.99. We do have a 2 out of 3 falls between Ace Austin and Madman Fulton against besties in the world, and then of course that AAW Heavyweight Championship match. The Heritage title isn't on the line. Mance Warner versus Hakim Zane. Make sure you buy it. Make sure you don't miss out. Hakim, thank you for coming on the show. Best of luck going into Alive number 3. And where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at HakimZane.com, RajuZane80 on Instagram or Facebook. I just opened up a professional wrestling school in Bay City, Michigan. You can, like I said, Facebook.com/RajuZane80. There's more information about that there. And then, of course, ProWrestlingTees.com/Rohit. And then you can make sure you get some of those t-shirts. There's a few Hustle and Muscle t-shirts on there. We have a Truth t-shirt coming out as well. Listen, Learn, and Absorb, our Truth t-shirt. So that's where you can find me.
Oh, fantastic. And again, Champ, thank you for coming on the show. Best of luck going in on the 12th of November. Until next time, everybody, make sure you do head across to the social medias. Go follow Hakim. Go check out the Pro Wrestling Tees. And if you are in the area, go check out his training. And if you've enjoyed this, make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And again, buy AAW Alive, $12.99, Fight TV, 12th of November. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.